Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome back to Direwolf20's Let's Play. This is episode 14, and today I haven't done anything at all since the last time I played, but it's time for me to get some work done. So the first thing I want to do is create a couple new blocks. This is the chunk loading block. This is part of the teleport pipes mod, the additional pipes mod. And look at that, it's dark out. I should probably go sleep through the night for this. So while I'm sleeping, why don't I explain for you guys what chunk loaders do. Now, in single player, chunks never unload, so that's cool, right? So what's a chunk? A chunk, if we look at our coordinate screen here, we can see we're at a specific position on our coordinate screen, right? Now, every 16 by 16 block is a chunk, and I can demonstrate that a little cleanly once I put down one of these chunk loading blocks. And what happens is, when your character enters the world, it loads the world around your character, okay? So only a certain number of blocks in this area load, and nothing else is happening far away from you. It doesn't have to. In vanilla Minecraft, it would be a waste to load this big, huge world and have nothing going on. But with all the mods we have, there's a lot of automation and a lot of things happening. So if the chunks aren't loaded, nothing is running. So basically, if you were to think of it like this, the quarry I built here in my last episode, if it was in an unloaded chunk, it would not run. It would just sit there and not move at all. And we wouldn't get any items and nothing would happen. Until I walked over to it, and my character, coming close nearby, would force it to load. And then it would say, oh, okay, I'm here, I'll start working. And it'll start doing its thing. Now, in single player, it's not as much as a problem. It's because they never unload, right? So what happens is, chunks will stay loaded once they've been loaded. But in multiplayer, it's a lot bigger of an issue, because to save memory, whenever there's a player not near a chunk, it'll just automatically unload. So why am I using chunk loading blocks in single player? Well, I'm not quite sure of the range, and I'm sure somebody will post and tell me, and if I really wanted to, I could look it up. But I'm not entirely sure of the range of chunk loading when I load my world, and I want to make sure this quarry that I built in my last episode stays loaded at all times. So it might just be that when I quit the game and load back in, it would unload the quarry and it wouldn't be running. So I'll place down a chunk loading block, and if I get up high enough here and hit the F9 key on my keyboard, I can all of a sudden see all this cool stuff going on. These are the chunks that are loaded. So the blue outline here is a chunk. So I'm standing in this chunk right now. And crossing this is a chunk border, and I'm moving into the next chunk. Cool. So we can see I've got a good amount of it loaded here. Why don't I just move this guy a little bit over? And I might need to make more chunk loaders. Who knows? Let's try placing them there. And if I F9 again, and F9 again, it should load up again and see, alright, yeah, we've made some good progress, but I need to move it a few more blocks closer. Probably just place it up here, why not? So, and those little lasers that you see there were added nicely by Zeldo, the creator of these teleport pipes mod, the additional pipes mod. And we can see we're doing pretty well with regards to chunk loading. Just want to make sure that it's encompassing my whole quarry here. Yep, so that chunk there is loaded. Looks good to me. Now this guy right here is not, so we should probably put a chunk loader on this side and reload it. F9, F9. Now we can see that pretty much this whole chunk is loaded. And these little red circles here indicate that within the chunk boundaries it's loaded. And if I've lost you guys, don't worry too much about it. If you're playing single player and you have your quarry relatively close to your house, it's not that big a deal. But I'm just trying to be a little extra careful to make sure that my quarry's always running. And like I said, maybe somebody will post on this video and say, hey Direwolf, you're a dope, you don't have to worry about it just yet. You're not that far away. So let's see. Now I've got all the chunks around my quarry loaded. And then like I said, I'm just being careful. And look, the water spilled out just like I said it would. Pretty sweet. Alright, let's head back home and get on with some building of cool things. Alright, one thing I want to do real quick before I forget is, remember a while back I had a combustion engine and this neat little lever system over here that would activate my combustion, or my the steam engine, and that's how I got the oil out. I'm not going to do it that way anymore. So goodbye lever, and I'll get the stuff out of that wall in a little bit. Let's sneak through this wall here real quick. And remember, I borrowed my steam engine up here a while back. Let's remedy the situation by laying down a golden pipe and a power teleport pipe. Golden, power teleport. And I'm going to set this guy to frequency 2. I haven't used frequency 2 yet, and you can see there's no connected pipes right now. I'm going to set that receiving to true. Now I've got a way to activate my oil pump by just simply adjusting this. Now remember, when I switch this from frequency 3 to 2, it's going to send its power over to my oil pump, and it's going to start pumping oil out of the ground for me. Ooh, black gold. Delicious. But, of course, now my quarry isn't being powered, so it might have some residual energy and be running right now, but very shortly it will stop running. So we want to make sure to turn it back on. And you can see my refinery running just a little bit. Again, that's residual energy. And all the oil going into my tank right now is quickly being pumped into my refinery. But as soon as my refinery fills up, it'll start filling up this nice little tank that I've got. And this buildcraft room of mine is a little bit small. At some point soon I'm going to have to expand it, but for now I think it's alright. Oh, looks like the oil's going deeper into the ground. Sweet. So you can see the oil well going down there. Nice. I just want to collect a decent amount of oil, and while I was doing that, I was over here collecting some smooth stone. I'm going to do something like this. And then grab some of those. Just some nice stone brick stairs, because I want to make sure I get my stairwell over here. So let's go build that real quick while I'm waiting for my oil to pump out of the ground. Now there was a small little cavern of oil up there. That's what was built up first and drained. And now it's going deep, deep underground. And it's trying to get... Did I not properly light this room? I guess I didn't. Sweet. Want to buy lighting. Yeah, I'm going to have to light this guy up a little bit better than I did, huh? Remember, you guys, you said you wanted to see Direwolf do silly things and make mistakes. Well, I think you got your wish. Hopefully that's bright enough. If it's not, we'll find out. Alright, where was I? Babbling? Right. So, that oil well is going along smoothly. Let's go see how we made out. Should probably grab some food here and eat up. Boy, I'm going to need some more pork chops soon. Alright, oil well, how'd you make out? Oh, still slowly pumping oil out of the ground. So you can see it's basically getting like one little tank full worth of oil, and then it has to dig deeper. So you can see it's going deep and deep. But eventually it'll get to the point where it hits this huge cavern full of oil, and it'll start pumping a ridiculous amount of oil out for me. And it won't pause after each bucket to dig down deeper. So, it's going. I'll let that guy run for a few minutes here. And while I'm waiting for that to run, I'm just going to clean up my inventory, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, well, I haven't quite reached the bottom of this well yet. It's been a little while, and I'm just going to switch my power here to frequency 1, which will allow my refinery to start working. And that's going to convert my oil into fuel. I'm going to let that guy run for a little bit now. My pump will finish pumping shortly, and I'm just going to seal my wall back up. Yeah, no, I should put a door there, tell me about it. Anyway, on to building something neat, shall we? Let's go downstairs and decide what we want to put in this big, huge basement of ours. I think it's time to start building something really neat. I do need to build a few more recyclers, but I'll get around to that shortly. I also need to build a system to pump the items out of the recycler. I gotta get like one of those things, a filter or something like that, to pull items out of a recycler. A retriever probably is what I'll use. Probably seal up this wall now. Not gonna need him. Sweet. Alright, let's build something cool down here, shall we? Alright, here we go. Alright guys, it's time to start working on our logistics pipe system. That's right, I have been really looking forward to doing something cool with logistics pipes, and I'm kind of putting together in my head how I want things to work. So without further ado, let's get started. As you know, they require a lot of diamonds, so I went and stole a couple of blocks of diamond out of my condensers from Equivalent Exchange. Sorry, Equivalent Exchange items, you're not going to get built just yet. I got to build some more systems here. Let's get building. So, the basic logistics pipe here is made with 2 golden gears and a diamond transport pipe. So let's get our diamond transport pipe set up. Cool. And I'm going to need a couple diamond gears. So if I need 2 and I want to do 2 sets of them, I'm going to need 4. And then up to iron. And gold. So, put down my golden gears, my diamond transport pipes, and if I recall correctly, I'm going to need some redstone torches. Right? Yep, and 4 glass. So as you can see, I'm making 2 sets of these pipes. Cool. So that's 16 of them. Awesome. Love logistics pipes. They are very cool, very fun, and the maker of this mod is like brilliant, level genius. Also going to grab some stone transport pipes. That should be good. For now, I think that's alright. We'll come back if we need to build anything else. So, logistics pipes. These guys make your buildcraft pipes a bit intelligent. So what I'm going to do here is I've got this big whole inventory of stuff, right? Well, I think it would be smart of me to hook up pipes to each one of these. And then I'll have this intelligent routing system whereby I can pull items out of my chests anytime I want. Right, so there we go. That is where all my pipes are. Now, in order to pull items out of chests, I need to build some provider pipes. Provider pipes provide items. Makes sense. And you just take your basic logistics pipes and put a diamond on top. So let's do that. I'm going to need, obviously, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. Geez, like I said, lots of diamonds. I might need to build a few more of those shortly. Then I'm going to place them down like so. And hopefully they're pretty happy about that situation. Now, let's see what else I have to do. So next up, I think I want to make not a provider, a requester. That's it. The requesters are request items, and I'm thinking I might want my requesting pipe somewhere here-ish. I don't know. Somewhere around here, that would be a nice spot to have a pipe, where I could just click and get what I want. Maybe like right along here? I don't know. That might be good. Let's see. Give me a second while I think about where I want to place this guy. Alright, for now I think I'm going to go ahead and place the requesting pipe here. This looks like a nice spot. Why not? I guess we'll see how it looks. Back outside. Now, for the most part I'm just testing this system because I've done spotlights on these pipes, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't built them in any practical fashion yet. So I haven't really had a chance to mess with them as much as I would have liked. Like I've mentioned in 1 or 2 of my other episodes, I kind of was holding off on doing too much with these mods because I wanted to make sure I was doing it all for my Let's Play. So, to be honest with you guys, I haven't done a whole heck of a lot with it yet. So let's see how that works. So we've got this nice little pipe system here. Now, what do we got in here that I could request? How about a piece of cobble? And I kind of want to be able to see the system in action. So maybe I'll just knock some holes in the walls here real quick. I'll go with 5 pieces of cobble, why not? Request. Yeah, see, it's not being super smart just yet. I need to use logistics pipes to get these guys to know which way to go. Alright, buddy. I'm tired of you. There you go. Thank you. So I need to place down at the intersections here, which is going to kind of suck. I wish I didn't have to do that. Let me see if I can think of a way to not have to do that. I don't want to have to use all these basic pipes as well. Alright guys, so I thought it over, and there might be one or two things I could do just to save myself the effort with the basic logistics pipes. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and use them. What the heck, right? So let's clear them off. So what happens with logistics pipes is basically you need to use a basic logistics pipe at intersections so that the pipes and the items traveling through the pipes know how to get around and where to go from point A to point B. So that's how logistics pipes work, is whenever they hit an intersection, they're going to use the pipe routing system to try and figure out which is the best route to take to get where it needs to go. So now, if I try and request 8 cobblestone, for example, it should intelligently route it all out this tube right into here, and it spits them out that pipe there for me. Sweet. I like it. And as a matter of fact, yeah, I think we're alright for now. And, for example, if I wanted, 5 pieces of iron, please, it should intelligently pull it out and get it over to me. There it goes. Awesome. I like it. And you know what? Interesting. I wonder. So, I'm going to leave this guy unhooked for now. I'm going to try something here. What if I connect this just like this? And this guy here. Would that be intelligent? I'm thinking it might be. 10 iron, please. Yeah, see? That was my problem. I knew I'd figure something out. So, all these pipes are intelligently communicating with each other, so because I have them in a straight line like that, awesome. Let's go grab those iron laying on the ground there. Perfect. And if I wanted 17 cobblestone, 17 cobblestone, please. Oops. Very cool. And now I've got this like extendable pipe system, because now I can sneak down here. Let's go on down. But before I do, maybe I should go into my industrial craft chest here and grab my jetpack, just in case. I'm also probably going to want to seal up this wall, because we don't need this big old eyesore anymore. That I'll leave open for now, and I'll be back. So let's dig down, shall we? And what I want to do is have a basic logistics pipe at the intersection, like I said, right there. And then I can run this piping system down. I'll go with smooth stone for now, because, you know, smooth stone is good stuff. And I'll make this look nicer in a minute, but for now, smooth stone piping system for the win. Probably going to need a few more of these things. You know what? No, I think it's fine just right there where it was. I might want to dig this into the wall, after all. See guys, here's something I do a lot in my videos, and usually I cut this kind of thing out, but a lot of times I kind of just come up with stuff on a whim, and I need to think it through. And then I change my mind a lot. So I think this looks like a good system here. That should be cool. Yeah, I like that. I might want to move this just a little bit over. But, we'll figure it out later. For now, this looks good. because the next thing I want to do is build some automatic crafting tables. So let's get out our friend the Philosopher's Stone here. I'm just going to build 2 of these guys. So in order for that to work, I'm also going to need some sticks. There we go, 2 automatic crafting tables. And to go along with my automatic crafting tables, is it that? There's my crafting logistics pipe. Sweet. Like I said, lots of diamonds going on here. Now, a crafting logistics pipe is a way for me to craft items. So, let's get something that I hate having to make all the time. I'm going to place a crafting logistics pipe here, and an automatic crafting table like that. Okay, that should be cool. And in the automatic crafting table, I'm going to run upstairs and get the materials I need for said item. Let's go in here and grab myself some rubber, and go in here and grab myself some copper. And yeah. I'm also going to go over here. I'm going to place down just a basic logistics pipe at the end of this line, right there. And if I take my Buildcraft wrench, which I don't have on me, he's in here somewhere, and open up this basic pipe, I'm going to set the default route here to yes. And what that means is that items traveling through this logistics pipe network, if they don't know where to go, they're going to wind up in the default route right here. So basically, this network is intelligent, right? It can sort items, it can send things where I want it to go, but there might be some situations, just like with my sorting machine here, where it doesn't know what to do with an item. So in this case, I was sending it to the white tube. Well, in my logistics pipe system, I'm going to send it to this chest. That's basically what that setting does. Let's head back down. Did I grab everything I need here? Yeah, I think I did. So I'm going to set up this automatic crafting table and tell it that 6 pieces of rubber and 3 pieces of copper gives me 6 copper cables. And then I'm going to grab my wrench here and open up this guy. And this is a complicated interface, but don't worry. We just have to tell it what the expected inputs are. In this case, 6 pieces of rubber and 3 pieces of copper. And I'm going to grab this cabling here because I do need to use it. And I'm going to tell it that you should expect 6 copper cables to come out of this system. Cool. So what does this mean? Well, if I were to run upstairs here, and do I have any cabling? Of course I don't. Sweet. Let's make some real quick. And don't worry, I know what you guys are all thinking. Oh, Direwolf, it's going to suck if you have to have the item you want to request it, right? I'm getting to that point. Relax. So let's say I wanted 6 more of these copper cables. Well, I don't have any copper cables in my chests, do I? Nope, I do not. So what's going to happen when I request copper cabling? Well, if we check here, the copper and the rubber that are required are going to go into this crafting table. And then it's going to spit the completed item back out. And if I go running upstairs, my copper cable will be sitting up there. Hooray! Copper cables. And now I've got 12 of them. And if I request 12 copper cables, it's going to grab 6 copper bars and 12 rubbers. And then it'll shoot them out the pipe for me. Give it a moment. Ah, there they are. Huzzah! That is cool. Now, you might be saying to yourself, oh, Direwolf, but you need to have these copper cables. That's going to suck. Alright, chill out a sec. Let's grab just 6 more of them. And that'll bring me up to 24. and 6 more. I want 30 altogether. I know I called this miscellaneous materials, but I might want another chest down here at the end. Okay, so now I've got 30 copper cables. And oh yeah, it's nighttime, look at that. I believe I need some lappies for the next item I want to make. Oh look, I have 36. Yeah, I can't count, can I? Sometimes when I'm in the middle of recording, I suck at counting. Now, I need a couple lappies, because I want to build a new logistics pipe, and I have not featured this logistics pipe yet in any of my videos. This is the supplier logistics pipe, a very cool machine. Let me just go take a nap, get through the night, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now I believe I have an alchemical chest just hanging out in here somewhere. Okay, barely any room in my inventory. As you can see, things are getting a little busy. Crafting, provider, supplier, there we go. And I'm going to throw down, I think right here probably might be where I want to place it. That looks cool. And instead of having just this normal pipe here, I'm going to place down my supplier pipe. What's a supplier pipe do? Everybody wants to know, because I haven't shown this pipe yet. Unless you've been following Logistics Pipe, this is probably a brand new item for you guys, so pay attention. If I open up this interface, I have an option up here. Items to keep stocked. Cool. Let's say that I wanted to guarantee, under pretty much as long as it can happen, that this chest always has at least one stack of cobble in it. Well, I open up the interface on the supplier pipe and place a stack of cobble in. And within a few seconds, the pipe's going to say, hey, I need cobble. Look at that. And you might have also noticed that it put it in here, but it did not use up the cobble that was in my inventory. That's because of the new way the supplier pipe works, just like Buildcraft 3.0, where you can kind of put, an image of an item in there without it actually using the item in your inventory. Sweet. So what's happening in this chest? It's being told I need at least a stack of cobble at all times. Cool. So I'm going to take the cobble out of there. And what's going to happen? As soon as I take cobble out, it's going to request another stack. Ho ho ho. How cool is that? That's right. At all times, keep at least one stack of cobble in there, no matter what. So let's throw our cobblestone back in here, because I don't need to be carrying around that much cobble, especially with as many inventory problems as I've got at the moment. And it's doing its thing. And as soon as this cobble's done, I'm going to open up this interface here and say, alright, I'm not worried about cobblestone anymore. And by clicking on it, you can see it just took the item out of there. Cool. So let's get the cobble out. Like I said, that was just for demonstration purposes. Let's say that I always wanted to have a supply of copper cable. I'm going to open up the supplier pipe and say, oh, keep at least 36 of them there at all times. You know what? Let's make it 64. And what I'm doing is right-clicking here to increase the number. And I could even go up higher than 64. That's right, because this is an interface. But I'm just going to go with a simple stack of 64. And you can see all this rubber and copper is shooting out of this pipe system here. And it's going to go build all the cables that I need and requested. Look at it go. So that's right. I've built a device that'll automatically keep a stock of cabling for me. Now I was messing around with the numbers midstream there, so it might have requested more than it needed to. We'll see how many we get in the end, but hopefully it'll be about 64 of them. Yeah, it did request a little bit more. Like I said, I was clicking around in the interface as it was requesting items, but that's fine. And look, here comes the last little item there. And why is it moving so slowly, you're probably asking? Well, because I changed it midstream there, it had an excess number, so that copper cabling there went to that default route. But I'm just going to throw it in this pipe system here. And it's fine to have more than it needs. It's more than happy to have more than it needs. So that's how the supplier pipe works. And I might want to do a similar thing. Let's run down here real quick. I need some refined iron. Got some redstone on me. Heading on down, I'm going to place down another crafting guy. Where's my crafting pipe? Did I use it? I don't have any more of them. Alright, one more. Like I said, expensive items to make, but well worth it. Another crafting pipe, please. I'm just going to place this guy right here. Place the automatic crafting table on top of him, and get out my system here. Now, I'm going to want... What am I building, guys? You should know this one by now. That's right, I'm building the electronic circuit. And I'm going to tell this pipe right here in the back that if you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copper cables, 1 refined iron, and 2 redstone, you can expect to get an electronic circuit. Sweet. And up we go. So let's craft ourselves an electronic circuit real quick, because we're going to need at least 1 to get started here. That's alright. And let's request 1 electronic circuit out of the pipe, just to see if it worked. Oh, missing 1 refined iron. That's a problem. We don't have any refined iron. Oh no! Let's grab some. I should be able to cook it right here and have it not get pulled out through the system, because this guy doesn't know to pull out refined iron. So not a big deal. We'll give that just a moment to cook up. That should be good. Rare stuff. Refined iron. Back in the chest. You shouldn't have any problems now, giving me... Hooray! Request successful. There goes the redstone, the iron. Oh look, it's even grabbing cables and everything. So, it grabbed copper and rubber because it knew it needed to make cables in order to build. Huzzah! Now I should somehow set it up so that this guy can provide materials. So I'm going to have to do something like this. I'm going to have to put a provider pipe on the bottom. This way. And then I'm going to have to put a basic pipe. Remember, this is kind of an intersection here. So we have to make sure that this is, because it's an intersection, it needs to know how to do stuff. So that should be cool. Actually... does that count as an intersection? I don't know. Let's try it with a normal pipe. Guess we'll find out, right? I think I should play it safe and just use basic. I'm going to test it and see if it needs it or not. So now what should happen is we should pull some cabling out of here. We've got 11 copper cables. If I request just 1 electronic circuit, it should pull the cables out of that system. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, look, it grabbed cables out of there. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted it to do. And we should get our circuit back in a moment. There it goes. Hooray! Now, I'll be interested to see in a moment here if I request 1 more circuit, because that'll drop me just below the 60-something mark. So let's do that. So grab 6 of those guys. And now we should have less than 64 copper cables in that chest back there. Right? $63, that's correct. And Mr. Supplier Pipe, are you going to recognize what you have to do? You may. I'm going to request 2 more of these guys and see what happens. So, out go the cables. It's definitely using a lot of rubber, so that's a good sign. But you know what? Yep, see what's happening? Told you. I might need to use a basic logistics pipe here. Oh yeah, look, there it goes. Oh, I see what was happening. It was trying to fill itself. That's funny. There we go. It's up to 57 now, 63, and then it should bring a little bit more up. 1 came in, and the remaining 5 should land in this chest, that excess chest, remember I was telling you about. Yep, there it comes. When an item moves through a logistics system slowly, it indicates it doesn't really know where it's supposed to go. So he just went and zipped in here, and we should have 5. Precisely. Cool. So this system is working pretty well. Okay, that's cool. So let's seal up this wall for now. Don't worry, there's more to come with this system. So for now, I'm going to wrap up this segment, and I'll be right back. So before I wrap up this episode, and boy oh boy is it dark out and there's a lot of creepers around, I probably shouldn't be playing around my complicated system in the night, should I? Let's go sleep through it. What I've decided to do is, technically it really doesn't matter if that provider pipe is working down there underneath or not. Poking my head out the door just in case there's a creeper around. Yeah, buddy, I see you there. Haha. Anyway, yeah, it really doesn't matter how this little system down here works, because what would happen is it would either supply the copper cables from this system to make the circuits, or it would just build the copper cables. But if it supplied them, it'd have to build them again anyway, right? So who cares? But I do want to place down here a provider pipe, because I want to say, hey, if I have any miscellaneous stuff that wound up in this pipe, you can pull it out of here to supply your system. So that should be cool. And I think I can just do that with a basic cobblestone pipe. So that now, let's say, I've got 14 copper cables that just landed in here because it made some extra, right? I'm just going to take out, yeah. I don't want to take out the whole stack. There we go. Just grabbed one of them. And it should pull that one out of here. There you go. See? One yanked out, one landed in. Perfect. So that was kind of the goal of what I wanted to do there, is make sure that it also looked inside this miscellaneous materials pipe here, and then we can know that everything's cool. So, I think I'm going to close up my walls, and this feels like a good wrapping up point for the episode here. Made some good progress, exactly where I wanted to be today, is I wanted to build that neat little system down there. And, let's see, I've got 2 electronic circuits left. I'm going to go and tell the supplier system here that I want 5 electronic circuits, please, at all times. Wait a second. Yes, 5 in there. I don't want to go make any right now. There you go. 5. Ta-da! See how nice that is? Now, at all times, it'll keep 5 electronic circuits nearby, and if I go grab them to use them, it'll automatically resupply them. Ha ha ha! Oh, that's cool. I think that's neat. I'm a nerd, what can I say? I wonder if I can cover this guy up with a nice little stone cover. Yep. So you can see stone covers, just because they're not meant to work with buildcraft pipes, that, you know, they're gonna just look a little bit off-center, but that's alright. Looks better than nothing, I guess. So for now, this is Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed episode 14. Take it easy.